Hello guys, here's your quiz for today's quiz. Here's a video for today's quiz, I should say. You're going to do the problems that I have highlighted already on the video here. Okay, so it's a total of 10 problems. All right, a little bit of everything that we're going to do. You should have some graph paper with you as well. You're going to need it. So let's take a look at 1, 2, and 3. All right. You need to get all of these in slope-intercept form, at least in number 1 and number 2, or solve for the letter. Let's just put it in that case. Get x by itself in 1 and in 2. Remember, if you happen to divide by a negative, it flips this sign around. Okay? It'll flip the sign if you divide or multiply by a negative. Number 3, x is in the middle. You have two signs here, so I always draw like a line down through it. And that shows I have 3 sides, the left, the middle, and the right. Get x by itself. I'd move that guy first, then divide by the 2. All right, and then you're going to graph it. And then is this an and or an or? Okay. If it's an and, your graph lines are going to come in together like that. If it's an or, they're going to go out like boat oars. So you're going to graph each of those, 1, 2, and 3, on your graph paper. 7, 10, and 11, we're going to graph them on a coordinate plane. These are already set up in a slope-intercept form for you, so I'm going to put a 1 in front of that x. So it'd be like 1 over 1 for his slope. All right. Remember that on this one, this is telling you it's crossing the x at -2. So what kind of a line is that? When you shade, make sure you look at the symbols very carefully. If it's less than, it's going to push you down, so you're going to shade below. If it's greater than, it's raising you up, and you're going to shade above your line. Also remember, if the symbol is by itself, it's going to be a dashed line, but if it's got the equal to sign, then it's going to be a solid line on your graph. Continuing on, 14 and 15. What you have to do is plug in these values, 3 and 1, for x and y, and determine whether they are a solution for these systems or not. So plug in whatever letters they give you and determine if it satisfies the inequality. So this is your x, this is your y. So on the first one, for example, it would just be 1 is greater than or equal to 0. Is that true or false? Well, that's true. But all 3 need to be true in order for this to be a solution. If one of these doesn't work out properly, then it's no solution. So that's what you're doing on 14 and 15. The last two, you are to graph these inequalities. So on number 18, this one's already set up for you. Y equals 3x plus 0. On this one, we need to rearrange it. We need to subtract the x over. So now you should have y equals -1x plus 6. So get the y by itself. I did that for you on number 18. Number 19, you need to do it by yourself. You have to subtract that x over, add the x over. This one, there's nothing you need to do. He's crossing the y at 2. Okay? If you have questions while you're working on this, please don't hesitate to ask. Have a great day. God bless.